Welcome to Around the Weird. Here's your host, the museum curator of the strange and unusual, Mr. Nothing.
Thank you, Mysterious Voice, and welcome back to Around the Weird, a booktube channel where I talk about all the unusual and out of the ordinary literature that I've found in my travels. Today it is Poetry Thursday, so I wanted to talk about some interesting poetry that I found, because it's also the holidays, the Christmas season, I wanted to focus on Christmas or holiday-themed poetry. Really hoping I can find some more Hanukkah or Kwanzaa-based poetry, but I think I exhausted those avenues long ago. If you have any recommendations for me, please put it in the comments so I can talk about it. But today's poem is all about Christmas and orphanages. I am referring to Christmas at the Orphanage by Bill Knott. For those who don't know, Bill Knott was an American poet who lived between 1940 and 2014. He wrote a number of books of poetry, tried to infuse humor as was his style, and he had a bunch of interesting relationships with other poets of his time, and yeah, that's pretty much all I know about him. But without further ado, let's talk about Christmas at the Orphanage. I will do a summary, a little bit of analysis, or I'll read it, do a little bit of analysis, and we'll move on from there. Christmas at the Orphanage. But if they'd give us toys and twice the stuff most parents splurge on the average kid, orphans, I submit, need more than enough. In fact, stacks wrapped with our names nearly hid the tree where sparkling allotments yearly guaranteed a lack of what? Family? I knew exactly what it was I missed. Did each boy there feel the same denials? To share my pals tearing open their piles meant sealing the self. The child that wanted to scream at all you stole those gifts from me, whose birthday is worth such words. The wish list they'd made us write out in May lay granted against starred branches. I said, I'm sorry. In terms of analysis, that's Christmas at the Orphanage. There's a fair bit to talk about in this poem. In terms of narrative, it seems to be the narrator who is an orphan at the orphanage, which they don't really have a lot of these days unless you count the juvenile homes and whatnot. The narrator is a person in an orphanage, and talking about how orphans need more because they don't have parents, and wanting to yell about receiving those gifts, but ultimately feeling apologetic about it. Kind of noting that if you're an orphan, the Christmas season might be a little bit harder because it's probably difficult for those orphanages to acquire gifts, especially because it says they made us write out in May, like the wish list they made us write out in May. That's a pretty long time, showing that the orphanage probably has to prepare ahead of time to get those gifts and whatnot. That might not be the case for parents or other people. They might not have to have such a lead time in order to secure the funding for such gifts. So it's kind of hard. They might not get as many gifts that they want. And there's also the feeling of wanting family. It says the tree where sparkling allotments yearly guaranteed a lack of what? Family? And then there's an interesting part in the second verse where it says, I knew exactly what it was I missed. Did each boy there feel the same denials? To share my pals tearing open their piles meant sealing the self. The child that wanted to scream at all you stole those gifts from me. I don't really know exactly what that means, but it does seem to suggest what it was I missed. What were you missing? It's not the gifts that the narrator seems to be missing, but each boy might feel the same, and it's they want family, they want parents, either a mother, a father, or both. That would certainly kind of be a better gift for them than just regular Christmas presents. I think there's there's a sense of anger building up in the narrator as well as the other boys in the orphanage, that they're getting the gifts that they want, but they're not truly getting what they want, and it might cause them to lash out. And they apologize at the end, and they even note like whose birthday is worth such words. Jesus was born. Christmas kind of indicating a connection to religion in this poem. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Christmas at the Orphanage. Not a very complicated poem, but certainly one that is worth talking about, especially during this time of the year, as we are nearing Christmas and other such holidays. I believe Hanukkah is even a couple days away at the time that I'm releasing this video, so have fun with that if you're celebrating that. But yeah, if you have any thoughts on this poem, or you simply want to comment on something I've said here, let me know below. Otherwise, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that more people can find out about this poet, this poem, or even Poetry Thursday if you want to contribute and share some of your favorite poetry out there. And until then, I wish you the best of luck in your weird and Christmas-based travels. Farewell.